Hi, Josh Campbell, CEO of Worth Media, here at the Players Impact in New Orleans, Super Bowl weekend, here with Bernie Kosar. Bernie, thanks for joining me.
Josh, great to be with you.
So, well, I'd love to talk about your amazing NFL career. We're here to talk about what happens after the career. So the day was spent really with athletes, talking about navigating, sort of the world of entrepreneurship, investing, and how you transition from playing into sort of a new chapter in life. Talk a little about sort of your transition as well as advice you're giving to athletes as they think about that next chapter.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Josh. An honor to be here, and even more of an honor to have been here today, hearing what TPI and Tracy and everything that everybody talked about out there today. And one of the things that I would really encourage people, and I really, in the spirit of levity, actually am a little jealous and wish that we had this 35 years ago when I was wrapping up my career. And for players that are finished their career, there's no question that a organization like TPI is something that absolutely gives them the financial security and a network to get a long-term successful life, to make sure the final whistle doesn't happen when you stop playing, that you can make it through the ultimate part of your whole life in that. But that being said, I actually don't think guys should wait till they're done playing. It's really something you should really consider while you're playing. And if I love you all to think of me as a perfect guy and everything going great, but some of the mistakes as a business major and some of the mistakes, and as a quarterback who was supposedly intelligent, Josh, some of the mistakes I made, and I would love to share them with some of the younger players out there, is I wanted in my family, and I'm not trying to pick on my family, but getting licensed professionals to really do the job, whether it's the licensed agents, the licensed attorneys, the accountants.
So the right team, putting the right
team. And TPI puts the whole team together for you. And they're licensed, insured professionals that have a legal exposure to take care of you. And it's not that our families and our friends are all just taking the money. They may not have the licensed experience and the insurance to be able to do these type things. So people like myself end up making lots of mistakes, and now you have it at 60 years old where you're still trying to come back and stuff from the financial side. So companies like TPI, Joshua, you're doing what Worth, I so encourage younger people to start way earlier than I started. I'm trending towards retirement and Social Security. Please heed my advice earlier, and it's not just a sales pitch nor something to say to be nice, for the long-term peace of mind as our minds are deteriorating as ex-players. I so encourage you to be involved with things like that, and start earlier than I did.
So you touched on, sort of brain health and health in general. You put your bodies through a lot, playing sports. Health span as we live longer is so important, keeping ourselves healthy. You've had some health issues. Talk a little about sort of how we need to navigate, sort of our health and well-being, and what how you think about that.
Well, as a guy who grew up playing football and now is trending on 60 surgeries, 80 broken bones, 100 concussions, 14 or 15 seizures, the last couple seizures being in a coma for 72 and 96 hours, and coming out of that last coma where most of this century, I'm not proud to say, but I was on north of 80 to 100 pills a day. So being able to not take pills, to be cognitively present, to have doctors tell you that you're a tough guy and to keep up with all those prescriptions, I really knew that was going to be almost a death sentence for me. So in 2017, when I was coming out of that seizure and they were saying to keep up with those pills, I kind of thought, look, I was number 19 with the Browns. I love my number 19. But that's how many people will commit suicide in the state of Ohio today. There was over 100 people in the last 7 days that died in Ohio of the overdose death from the fentanyl issue. I should have been either one of those two statistics. So I had to somehow, some way, the old Jimmy Johnson line, try to figure out a way to get myself healthy. And not only just for myself, but one of the things that I found out was that not just us players are getting overprescribed with things. But now our families are, and the amount of our kids getting scripted on the Adderalls and the Vyvanse, and now we're seeing situations now almost like we did with OxyContin 6 and 7 years ago, where they're saying there's shortages of it, and people become used to taking it, almost addicted. And now what do they do? And they're ending up going to the streets, and 7 out of these 10 pills now are laced with fentanyl in the streets. So it's almost becoming a circle, an epidemic of death that we almost have to break that. So I'm trying to find, and I'm proud to have found some healthy alternatives to kind of stem that tide, and very proud to have done it with me and some of my family.
Right. Well, Bernie, that's an amazing story, and I think again, thinking about the success you've had, but also keeping yourself healthy is important. The success is meaningless, unless you can stay healthy. So great, and hopefully we'll be able to share. As I mentioned, we do a lot around wellness and longevity in Worth. Hopefully we'll get to tell more of your story, to some of our readers. That would be great.
Hey, Josh, you are absolutely stuck with me, man. I'm going to be stalking you, man.
Great. Well, Bernie, thanks for joining me today.
Great to be with you. You know what, Josh? I say this all the time, not because I went to the University of Miami. I don't want to drop the microphone, but I do a You Matter, and it's really big to me, not to tell people that they matter, and for self-confidence, self-esteem. And you're a CEO of an awesome company, but so many other people are sometimes struggling with their identity. So letting people know they matter out there, I think, makes a big difference.
All right. Well, thanks for that, Bernie. We'll see you soon.
God bless you.
Thanks.
You matter.